Hello there, welcome to Five Figures. So it's been a while since we've done some five-figure videos, and these guys all came out of a box that's still in the closet. Stuff that was either going to be sold and wasn't, or whatever, but this is a weird little wad of stuff. I'm going to start off with Katana here. I believe her name is Katana. I know she's one of the Mortal Kombat characters, and she's done in the vintage style. Kind of like the old Mattel figures and stuff like that from the past. She just has forward arm rotation, waist pivot or swivel, basically, head turn, and then ball joints on the hips. You can see they got like a ball joint. They have no articulation in the legs and anything like that. She's sculpted and painted very well. I like the shape of her. Actually, every Katana figure I've ever had, they do this butt, hip, stomach portion more realistic, I think. Like it's got some thickness to it. But she came with these, which she has a terrible time holding on to. But you know what? I think I got her on GameStop clearance for like $5 or something like that. She was very inexpensive, so it was something I didn't feel bad picking up. But I'm going to set her out of the way because we have some big awkward folks in here today. Next up, and most likely to fall down, I am struggling to remember this character's name. I want to say it's like Valkyrie or something like that. This is a weird figure. This is made by, I think it's Reaction. Reaction makes a lot of, they were independent comic figures from back in the day. And so, yeah, it's just a bizarre figure. Very, very big heels and very bizarre articulation and, of course, sculpting. So you just have a pivot at the knee there. You have upper thigh rotation right at this line. And you can see this is a weird, that is not natural or normal. Nothing about this figure looks very natural or normal. You got these weird upper thigh cuts at an angle, or as my friend Justin would say, woman hips. Because a lot of woman figures, they always cut the hip instead of making them hinged. You have no waist articulation. You have almost no waist. You just have a simple shoulder pivot like that. A hand that doesn't rotate. Or wait, no, it does. There it is. It just was stiff. I couldn't feel it. And you have a neck rotation. The hair is sculpted in a weird, awkward angle. Her weapons are cool and well sculpted and painted. The wings pop off. They just have like two plugs that go in the back. This figure came in a whole bunch of variant colors. So I have ones with white wings and red hair and a white outfit and black wings and just a whole bunch of different combinations so that they could get the most out of the mold and the pricing and stuff like that. And that's kind of how those companies had to run because, I mean, they were making limited runs of limited figures. Now this guy, this is Titus from Final Fantasy X. He is a Play Arts figure. Not a Play Arts Kai, but a Play Arts. This means, you know, I mean, he's not as big as a Play Arts Kai. Obviously, he's, like, she's 5 inches tall or so. 4 or 5, I don't know, 5 or 6 probably. So he's about 8 inches tall. But a Play Arts Kai is like more like 10, sometimes 12 inches tall. He has amazing detail and stuff, and not the most articulated, but plenty for what you would do. And if I can remember right, so he's got a pivot there, another pivot at the elbow, so he can go straight armed. A wrist rotation. He has all real chains. All of his chains are real. Head's on a ball peg. I don't think there's a waist rotation. And I was gonna say, I thought these were ball hips that pivoted out, but now I'm not sure because they don't seem to want to do so. You might just be straight forward pivots. And rotation up at the top of the calf. Gosh, what a weird design. Because he has foot articulation in his shoe. And that is a cool knee, actually. That is a really good knee. Because even when it's fully bent, it still holds some of its shape and not the gaps. Ball sockets at the shoulder. Looks like a upper bicep cut. Pretty decent jointed elbows and a rotation there. Most of these is just they're a beautiful figure. And I think this guy was like, probably got him in a secondhand store. And if I remember right, I usually pay about 10 bucks for these. New, they run 50 to sometimes 80, depending on where you're getting them. But I managed to score some cheap ones in various places. Next up, I'm going to look at this guy. This is Bane from, I can't even remember the exact line. Let me see if I can find the year. 1997. That looks about right. 1997 was when we were posing these things way, way stupidly. Like, why would we pose this guy this way? And this is supposed to pump in somewhere else that is, I'm not finding. I think it might be to the attachment. He had these like weird arm glove things, and I think they pumped into that. So you can tell how overposed he is. DC was doing this in the 1997s, 98, and they were awful. He has an action. He looks more like a wrestler than normal. Just everything about this figure is either super extreme and super cool or just ultra lame and just dumb. But your mileage may vary on this design of figure. I'm not wild about it, but gosh, it even looks like he's wearing wrestling boots. They made a scarecrow from this line too. Just a weird figure. And then last up, we're looking at, I'm trying to think. This is from a video game, Evolution, I think was the name of it. And this is the behemoth. And he is a big, nasty thing. He is beautifully sculpted. But this is Funko in their early days. So this guy, I just feel like he's going to break every time I touch him. Gorgeous figure, extremely heavy. But because Funko was stupid, yeah, all of the joints, the like ball pegs and stuff in here, are that clear plastic that just shatters when you look at it. And even though he's a super cool figure, it's so likely that he's going to break that you can't play with him. You don't want to pose him hardly. You couldn't have him fall off of a shelf or anything like that. I don't even want to go through his articulation because I just don't want something to break. And he's one of the rarer and larger of that series. They had a whole line of all the characters from Evolution, and he was by far the coolest, but also just everything with that line was he was so fragile that you didn't want to break anything or mess with it. Anyway, I'm going to put all them together. That is 5 figures. They're a weird 5 figures, but that's what you got. That's my story, and thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you guys later. Bye.